And on the topic of security guarantees, we have concrete details from the U.S., concrete details from Europe. I'd say these are the three main topics, tracks, but also triggers. We need to be very careful here. I thank our negotiation teams. The plan looks better.
Let's now bring in Bloomberg's Piotr Skolimowski. Piotr, are we any closer to actually seeing a deal? What's the latest?
Hi, Francine. As you pointed out, President Zelenskiy yesterday said that the new plan, or the latest version of it, looks much better. And it's no surprise because, when we consider the fact that the initial plan, the 28-point plan, emerged a few weeks ago, it caught everyone by surprise. It then turned out it was pretty much drawn up together between Steve Witkoff, so U.S. envoy, and Kirill Dmitriev, which is a Russian envoy, with little or no input from Ukrainians, and definitely no input from Europeans, who are completely caught off guard by this one. So we're seeing some improvement. We haven't seen much of the details as such, but still the sticking points remain, and the sticking points are huge in that respect. First of all, we're talking about territories where there are certain red lines that Ukraine has, which is they are happy or they're ready to kind of freeze the front line and have fighting stop where we are right now. For Russia, that's not enough, and they want to seize the land. They want to have full control of the Donbas region, which they've been trying to capture since the start of the full-scale invasion and haven't so far. So it's very difficult to imagine that both sides will come to some kind of a conclusion unless they're being pushed to it. And clearly there is a growing push from the administration of President Donald Trump to get the deal done very quickly.
Could there be a breakthrough in today's meeting between Witkoff and Putin?
Well, Witkoff, we have to remember that Witkoff, it's his sixth visit to Russia. It's his sixth visit to meet Vladimir Putin. He hasn't met Ukrainian side, and as our reporting showed, based on the transcript of his conversation with Putin's advisor Ushakov, he clearly has been talking much more with the Russian side. So Ukraine is probably looking at this meeting with certain concern, and that's sort of behind the efforts that we've seen over the last few weeks and especially the last few days. There was a meeting in Florida between a Ukrainian delegation and Witkoff to try to kind of bend his ear a little bit and try to get their point of view. So I will see how much of a breakthrough is likely. Clearly, it's not Witkoff's first time there. But at the end of the day, the question is how much Ukraine is going to agree to whatever is being put on the table, and we're still far from that.
Separately, Piotr, a third oil tanker linked to Russia has been hit at sea. What more do we know about that?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting case. We had two oil tankers that were part of the shadow Russian fleet. They were hit just last week, and it was in Black Sea. And Ukraine claimed responsibility, or at least admitted that they've been behind that. As for the last one, it was off the coast of Senegal, and we don't really know who's behind that. What we have to say is that what we've seen from Ukrainian side is they've been attacking Russian refineries with their deep strikes inside the territory of Russia, which they consider. Given that how much Russia relies on oil and revenues from oil and gas, they believe that's part of it's a fair game to basically attack whatever assets they have, and it had impact. So obviously, taking it off to shadow fleet vessels, which U.S. and Europe have been trying to clamp down on with some success, but very limited one with sanctions, would probably amount to just another step in that effort to kind of reduce the revenues that Russia is getting from selling oil.